of the universe. The next voice you hear.
Erik Nagel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel, and my name is Erik Nagel. Joining me always is my co-host, Matt OG, Geek Stuff OG on the Twitter and Instagram.
Howdy, sir.
And I am E-Rock Radio on the Twitter and the Instagram. And also sitting in again this week is my buddy Gittles.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
2 weeks in a row. Unprecedented.
He just never left because he's homeless.
Well,
I am homeless.
He looks like a homeless guy with that beard. And no, I'm just...
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding at all, actually.
No,
Last week was our official last live show of 2014.
It was.
This is the official last new show of 2014. We're not here.
No, we are certainly not.
This is pre-recorded and
This is all
put
an
together in
illusion.
some kind of audio form for you to listen to.
Hopefully I'm sitting naked in front of a fireplace somewhere.
Yes, it is a couple days after Christmas. You've got nothing better to do. Why not?
I was opening up all my Christmas gifts.
That is
Yeah.
a lie because you are Jewish.
I know.
Well, since we're in a room here of non-religious people of all different denominations,
Yep. There's no presents and I don't want any part of it.
well, let's talk presents for a moment here. With the holiday season and Gittles, you celebrated Christmas a little bit. Maybe this translates to, do you still do Hanukkah gifts?
No, I haven't done that in...
You don't have family that sends you stuff?
No, not really. Like, we kind of call each other something, but that's about it. Like, don't really do
Hey,
too
Dad.
much.
Hey, son. You breathing? Yep. See you later. Bye.
Yep, that's kind of it.
So you don't exchange gifts at all for either holiday?
No,
No?
not
Okay.
really.
Then for maybe you out there listening and Matt here in the studio, there's two kind of categories as far as gifts go.
Okay.
That happen every year. There's your usual gifts that you give to people, certain things you buy every year that you give to specific people, and then there's the usual gifts that you get every year. Let's start with the ones that you get. What are the set gifts that you know you're going to get every holiday?
Well, I'm particular about the things that I like. Like, I'm guaranteed at least half a dozen DVDs still. By the way,
That's pretty
I
awesome.
still like actual physical media under the tree every year, or in my stocking, or wherever it may be. I don't know. I get a lot of books. I get a lot of books and movies for Christmas. Like, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm totally down with that. I don't get
That's
socks.
awesome.
I don't get socks. I get some clothes from my mom, but books and DVDs is mostly what I get.
I would be psyched to get books and DVDs.
Yeah, it's a good deal. And cash. I get some cash, which is nice, too.
Cash is universal. That goes for everything. So I think we got to kind of take cash off the table as far as that goes. But
Well, what happened like 7 or 8 years ago for me was like there were things that I knew that I wanted and or needed, but they were too expensive for any one person to get me. So it became kind of like, like for my wife, it was the same way. Like I would call up everybody in her family and my family, but like, are you going to get Kate a gift this year? Instead, just give me whatever you were going to give her in cash. We're going to pool it. We're going to get her one big thing that she really likes, like a new laptop or a new camera.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, it's really appreciated for the person who's getting it because maybe you really, really want that one expensive thing and you're never getting it on your own. It's better than socks.
That's much better than
I used to, in my family, the kids would get underwear and socks and undershirts from the pets.
Oh, how cute is that?
They were labeled from the pets, which was both ridiculous to think about and kind of insulting that your parents wouldn't think you would figure this out.
Now, if the socks were made out of hairballs that had been knitted together, that would be awesome.
It would be, and then I have to say, my dog put a lot of thought and effort into it, and
That's right.
I'd shake his paw.
Barf.
Yeah, the dog got you socks. He's like, I'm sorry, I ate yours during the year.
Yeah,
Sorry, I shit in your socks earlier.
yeah.
Here's a new pair.
you would
figured
get
you'd need
the undergarments, if you will, from the pets.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's
And
really weird.
There's something my mom did.
That's creepy.
That's
What
really
else did we used to get in our stockings? For some reason, we still to this day get paddle balls.
This is a really weird one. For some reason, my mom every year gives me in my stocking deodorant. Still, I'm 36, I think.
Okay,
Deodorant.
you just brought back a memory.
I don't know why.
The Brute Fabergé gift set.
Did you say the Groot?
Brute.
Oh.
I am Brute.
We are Brute.
My grandmother, my dad's mom, used to give, and you can tell she got it at the Rite Aid or a gas station or
Yeah,
something.
man.
It had the bottle of Brute. It had the soap on a rope.
Right.
And then it had the deodorant. The soap on the rope smells like you're just washing with bad cologne.
Ugh.
And by the second wash, the rope already pulled through the soap.
Sure.
So now you just got a chunk
Club.
You've got like, yeah, you've got a square missing a corner, and you're trying to use it as soap.
What about one year my grandma got me a Scrubbing Bubbles piggy bank and a pack of Cobra Commander tissues.
So the one gift made you so sad you would cry, and there you go, tissues.
It was just so
depressing.
bad. I was like 15. I was like, Grandma, why did you get me a Scrubbing Bubble piggy bank and a box of like G.I. Joe tissues?
Because
like,
Gulf had it on the way over here.
yeah, that was basically it. But my grandma was like Norwegian, so
right.
she was from my mom's side of the family.
Did you get any
So
of those good cookies and none of that shit?
no, she made those, but
Yeah.
she would talk about it. She's like, oh, Brian, I got you these tissues. I'm like, thanks, Grandma.
Thanks, Grandma.
I would jerk off on Cobra Commander's face.
That is horrible, but it's very funny at the same time. With the grandma stuff, I just remembered too. One year, she got me a sweatshirt that obviously was from a flea market.
Nice.
Like at the Atia's flea market.
Well, do you remember there was a flea market? There used to be two within the area that we lived in. One was, I think, called Busy Bee in Massapequa.
Yeah.
The other one was going out east on Long Island.
That was the Atia's, like by Patchogue.
That used to have laser tag and
Yeah, like
everything
laser
there.
tag was right
okay,
there.
so that thing there, like you walked in, it was just a dirtbag flea market. Like some of the booths in the back were bookstores, but if you moved their curtain, all the adult shit was there.
It was like the Cantina bar from Star Wars.
Right,
but it's
right.
like a thrift store or
Most
flea
nicely.
market. Yeah.
They were the ones that like originally started selling the hand painted license plate frames and stuff you could put on your
You
car.
like the spray painted Tasmanian devil t-shirts.
Right.
Airbrushed Oakley windbreakers.
Yeah.
She gave me this white sweatshirt that had like a dock scene painted on the front, right? But the dock was thick rope glued to the front of the sweatshirt.
Oh, no.
So you have this picturesque scene of water and maybe some trees and a mountain in the background, and there's a dock here. But where the dock is, they glued rope over the dock to make it stand out like it's,
give a texture.
you don't give a kid under 10 this to wear to school.
That's an amazing gift.
It
You
is.
do if you hate that kid.
Do you know how much you could sell that shirt for in my neighborhood? Now you could probably get like $1,000 for that shirt. That was an
that's like
investment
hipster
your
gold.
grandma was giving you. You just didn't know.
Truth.
What's
to
your
their-
favorite gift to get, Eric? Like, what makes you happier than fucking
pig and
Eric?
shit?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Because I know because every day is Christmas for you because you just order shit. So it just comes to your house every day. Like Santa wears a brown suit.
well, what I do is every month, I've been talking about this on the show for a long time, but I invested into subscriptions for Loot Crate,
Right.
and Nerd Block.
Sure.
Now, if you're not familiar with these two services,
have
it's a
to be at this
subscription
point, yeah.
service where once a month these boxes show up at your house,
Right.
And it's like Christmas,
Sure it
and
is.
you don't know what's coming except they'll tease themes online.
But it's like the Office grab bag Christmas.
Sort of.
A little better.
Yeah, it is a little better because you know it's in the realm of stuff you may
Sure.
actually enjoy.
That I will give you.
You're not getting what's something horrible. I can't think.
I don't know.
Cadbury eggs.
Yeah,
not
Cadbury
getting
eggs.
toffee.
Yeah, or like a peel-a-page calendar.
Right.
That's an office grab bag
Dilbert
gift.
peel
Yeah.
page
Ugh.
calendar.
They come once a month, and they usually have themes, and there's a bunch of different stuff. It's usually got a figure, a T-shirt, or usually the staples in it,
Right.
and then a bunch of random different things in the realm of what you like there. And that's pretty much been how I keep Christmas going all year long, because I surprise myself every month. I treat myself. Maybe I got to get one for
Eric, you
Gittles.
treat yourself all the time.
He does.
I remember like every single time. I remember one time Eric picked me up. He's like, "Yeah, we're going to go to New Jersey." He's like, "Oh, we got to stop at Best Buy first. I got to buy a bunch of DVDs."
Just because. Why? Because
Yeah.
it's Wednesday.
Yeah, he's like, "It's Wednesday. I got to buy some DVDs."
Yeah, have you been to the house lately?
No, I haven't been there recently.
Okay, Mac can contest. I have a quarter of a room which has custom shelving for DVDs and Blu-rays.
Right. And the other, 3/4 of the room is Legos, Doctor Who, Simpsons,
Movie posters.
It's an awesome
That sounds
room.
about right.
It's all. It's. I mean, look, I can't shit talk you because you've seen my office. My
Right.
office is covered in just toys and artwork. So I mean,
Right.
I have my own fun room, but
Well, it just sounds like a bigger version of Eric's bedroom, like growing up, because he just had so much crap on his walls and just so much stuff everywhere. It's like
Signed
go in the closet, it's
photos.
like just racks of bootleg state VHSs and
Nice.
everything. Eric will tape anything on TV or the radio. You give him a VCR, DVR, he will tape it and keep it.
Yeah, I had a couple of closets in the bedroom I had on
He
Long
is.
Island. I had a huge walk-in closet that I didn't use for a closet. It was an archive room. It was a vault.
It was a vault.
cassette tapes of shows that I taped, and videotapes of rare stuff that I taped. It was quite a to-do, and now that you look back at it, I'm not ashamed of it at the least, but I do recognize that some of this was ridiculous.
See, it's a new bit for you. You could just start releasing like photos and descriptions of some of that old shit and just hashtag the archivist. It's a new hashtag for you.
I was at my dad's house like 2 weeks ago, and I found a whole stack of state VHSs that Eric gave me.
Nice.
I gave them to you?
Yeah, I have
commercials
them.
on them still and
I don't know. I don't have a VHS player. So I've grown up.
Can you take a picture of it?
Yeah. I'll take a pic next time I'm out there. I'll bring them back.
Because I used to
get some commercials from them.
Those are all the original airings of the state on MTV.
Nice.
With the original songs before the DVD came out and they had to score everything.
Does it have the commercials? Or no, I think I was at the point where I used to cut the commercials out.
Oh my God.
You were cutting? You were editing?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I used to.
Eric was like before Pirate Bay. He was like Pirate Lake.
Jesus Christ.
I used to have VCRs going, and then when I figured out you could tape the radio on the VCRs, goodbye 120-minute repeat cassettes. I would set a tape and tape
this is a bizarre world to me right here.
Oh my
Scott
gosh.
Shannon.
This is the world I know.
Yeah, where you set it, and it would tape 6 to 12, and you come home and you'd you'd play the videotape into your stereo, and then you'd listen to the show. This is way too nerdy.
This is insanity. This is nerdy even for me.
No, this is insanity. It's almost a sickness.
This is how Eric grew up.
That is. I used to have foot lockers full of tapes too, and I had a lot of stuff.
You're disgusted with yourself.
No, I just look back.
Yeah.
I'm not disgusted. I look back and laugh at it. I was just like,
it was like an episode of Organized Hoarders. Like you'd go in, it was just like, oh wow, he's got a lot of stuff, but at least you could walk around. Like,
yeah, it was more of a museum, if you would.
No dead cats.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'll have to find those photos too. I have them, but I gotta find them. What led us to this? Usual gifts. Yeah,
I was asking what you get, and then we started going into your hoarding and collecting shit.
What do I get?
Like what makes you happy for a Christmas gift?
Day?
Like what that you couldn't buy for yourself that someone can get you? Be like, oh, I wouldn't even have thought of this.
Lately, the last several years, what's been exciting me is things I didn't think that I needed. I mean, obviously clothes, but better clothes than what I wear. And you go, oh my God, this is dress shoes. I never think of that. And I'm like, wow, this is great. I have a pair of dress shoes. Huh. Or, look,
like that's a staple though. Like everyone should have a pair of dress shoes, Eric.
Dude, I have 2 pairs of shoes.
I know he's wearing the Doctor Who shirt he bought at Comic-Con.
Yes, but yeah, it's stuff like that, and dress clothing and those kind of things, like stuff I normally would never buy nor think to get myself. Right. That excites me. Box sets, which I could easily get, but I never seem to buy box sets for some reason.
Fair enough.
But I've been on a weird kick on Christmas where I've been asking for these box sets of really old shows that are just now coming out on box sets. Like this year, I asked for the producer and the owner of the Laugh-In series. Put out a whole new box set with episodes that weren't available in the best of packages and haven't been seen since they aired, and extra interviews with celebrities that were on the show at the time. All that old stuff I find kind of fascinating. The Dean Martin roasts.
Oh yeah,
the whole series came out. I asked for that. It's things like that I don't normally get for myself. Is when the Christmas time comes around, I forget that I wanted those things, and I go, oh, I'll ask for that. One this year that I got is. It's Gary Shandling show.
Oh, nice. That's great
I
set.
loved that show. Even though I was a kid and some of the stuff I didn't fully understand.
And why was Tom Petty on that show again? How did he get involved
I don't remember that at all.
He was the neighbor.
Tom Petty, he was a neighbor? Because there was a family, a Jewish family that was next door where the son and the father had the short curly hair and the glasses and a little bit fat, wearing sweaters, so they matched, but the wife was like a hot blonde.
Am I imagining Tom Petty on the Gary Shandling show?
I don't know. You have to look that up.
I'm going to look that up now. I thought he was on the show fairly regularly.
But I was happy to get this box set.
Hold on.
Dun, 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 dun. This is the theme, the Gary Show, the opening theme, the Gary Show. Gary called me up and asked if I would write the theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? This is the theme, the Gary Shandling Show. This is the theme, the Gary Show, the opening theme, the Gary Show. This is the music that you hear as you watch the credits. I'm almost to the part where I have to start to whistle. This is the theme, the Gary Shandling Show. Do you want to do the whistle part or no?
No.
Okay. I went too far.
All right. Season 2, episode No Baby, No Show. Shandling pokes fun at the notion of a special guest when he casts Tom Petty as his neighbor who borrowed the hedge clippers. And then he subsequently makes Petty sing for the audience. But I think there was more than one episode where he appeared on the show.
Oh.
But
I don't remember that at all, but thanks to the magic of the box set that finally came out, I can watch all 4 fantastic seasons of It's Gary Shandling Show.
Fantastic.
Let's get to our first guest tonight, Krysten Ritter. You may know her as Jane on Breaking Bad, Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend for a small portion of the show there. She was also on Apartment B. No, wait.
Don't Trust the Bee.
Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23,
right.
which was also with James Vanderbeek, but they kept calling him Dawson the whole show, which was very funny. She's now in the movie called Big Eye, which opened on Christmas Day. It's a Tim Burton film,
sure,
but it's not your typical Tim Burton film. It's like if Tim Burton grew up, this is what he's making.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say that she's also going to be Jessica Jones in the upcoming Marvel Netflix series.
Right.
Just had to say it.
It's out in 2015. They have not put out a release date so far, but we talked to her about AKA Jessica Jones and
I mean Alias. Right?
No, I think it's
AKA.
Look it up real quick. I think it's called AKA Jessica Jones.
Okay,
I could be wrong here. And as we pull it up, it says AKA Jessica Jones.
Yeah, okay.
All right, good. Because I was going to say there's a huge error in this interview.
No, the comic book was called I think it was called Alias, wasn't it? I could be wrong.
I don't know. There was also a show called Alias a while ago.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
that's what I was. That was the J.J. Abrams show.
But anyway, I talked to Krysten Ritter about the movie Big Eye. It's about Walter and Margaret Keane. What was her name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great true story.
Right. About maybe you've seen some of the artwork. It's children with really big eyes.
Yes.
You'd think it's creepy, but it's actually not. It's kind of enticing a little bit, like you look at it. But there was a whole backstory about this thing that he wasn't really painting these pictures, and it's a true story. They're divorced and everything, and it was really, really good. And she plays the best friend in the movie. Say hello to Krysten Ritter.
I see crazy every day inside this New York cabaret, but nothing could prepare me for that being 23.
Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Krysten Ritter. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. You're obviously here for the movie Big Eyes, which opens on December 25th. What do you do for the holiday then? I know you're promoting the movie and you've got stuff going, but if you can't get back home to the family, what do you do for the holidays then?
I will. Well, last year I went home, but this year I guess I'm just going to skip Christmas. No, I don't know. I will probably hang out with whoever of my friends is in town, Los Angeles. I always go see a movie on Christmas. Right. It's like a tradition that I have.
Which you could go see Big Eyes, but you're in it and you know it, so I think you'd go see something else. But everyone else should go and see Big Eyes on Christmas.
Well, my friends and my man should see it, so maybe I'll have to go and just like wear a hoodie or something. Or like sneak out and just eat popcorn.
Because all you need is TMZ or somebody spotting you going into your own movie and like, oh, she's really into herself.
Yeah. Well, also it's like really awkward watching yourself, and then you're worried that other people can see you and you're making funny faces. It's not pleasant.
Big Eyes is the movie. It's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Which when I saw it, looked nothing like a Tim Burton movie. It was like an adult version of Tim Burton.
Totally. It's a dramatic biopic, which I love biopics. I love nonfiction. I love documentaries.
And I had no idea about that until going into this. Because that was before my time. But
same.
It was really interesting to find out that this was all real.
It's all real. I had no idea all that fraud was behind these images. When I first saw the paintings, it felt familiar. I was like, oh yeah, I know those. Oh yeah, it's the little kid with the big eyes. You feel familiar because it's been ingrained into our subconscious somehow because it was so mass produced.
Right.
But I certainly didn't know the story behind it. And it's frustrating that she couldn't take credit for her own work only 50 years ago.
Also in the movie is Amy Adams, who plays Margaret Keane, and Christoph Waltz, who's amazing, playing Walter Keane. Now, I read somewhere that, and also after seeing the movie and seeing how he portrayed Walter, I don't think Christoph was crazy enough. Based on everything I read about what Walter really did and how he really was, how Christoph was portraying him in the movie seemed a little toned down compared to all the writings about Walter going crazy.
I think they toned down or showed less of the courtroom scene where everything,
right.
like the big climax of the movie. I mean, I think that his portrayal is so fantastic. He is so good at playing these maniacal but likable characters because he's so charismatic himself. It's interesting. I mean, all of his characters are just so, they're larger than life.
Right.
And Christoph in real life isn't really, he's really acting. He's not a larger than life guy from what I've seen. He's very, very smart and just an intellectual guy. And then it's fun to see him kind of go nuts with these characters.
Right. I don't want this to be misinterpreted, but I wanted him to go further. There was a scene which I won't give away too many of the details, but there was a scene where he's coming after Margaret, we'll say, right?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was going to go much darker than it did.
I was scared.
When she went into the room and locked the door, I thought he was going to do more to her than he did.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it that way.
So you wanted to see like big eyes.
I didn't want to see like that, but I thought he was going to.
Right.
And because the way he portrayed it as he was coming down the hall, how he slammed the glass on the table, I thought it was going to lead to some darker things. And not that the stuff that happened wasn't dark, but I was just like, wow, I thought it was going to go a little further, and it did. And it was actually kind of nice to see that it didn't go that far.
Uh-huh.
Because usually in that kind of a situation, the guy does something to a girl. You hear that constantly, especially during those times where it was unreported and what have you. But yeah, he really sucks you into you forget he's Christoph Waltz, especially during the court scene when he's pretty much a comic book character at that point. Because all his legal experience is based off watching the old Perry Mason show, but he's overacting and he's mugging for the jury, and the judge has nothing of it.
Yeah, and then he's getting on the stand, and then he's jumping around and he's
just bragging about all the celebrities he knows, and it's like, who cares? This is you're going to lose everything in a matter of minutes.
And he just sits there, and he's like, "Oh, I hurt my shoulder." It's funny. I laughed a lot. I think that's a nice surprise in the movie too. So it gets a lot of laughs. I laughed a lot when I sing it. And then also I saw it with a big group of people, and people were enjoying the film.
Did you seek this part, or was it somebody say this might be something that you should go for? Did somebody come to you about it?
Well, it's a combination of the two. I had been very vocal about wanting to work with Tim. And so my agents finally called me. They're like, okay, there's this great script. You have an appointment. It's Tim. They explained it to me. And I auditioned, so I got the role in like the regular way that actors get roles. It wasn't anything. I didn't get offered the part. I had to actually like audition and fight for it.
Well, let me ask you this then, based on what you just said, that you really wanted to work with Tim. I don't imagine there's a lot of people that would not want to work with Tim Burton, but were you maybe just a hint of disappointment that it wasn't going to be like a regular Tim Burton movie where you would be sort of like something kind of cartoonish but dark?
No, I don't have time for that, dude. I was so excited to be in a movie and get a call that Tim's casting me in a movie, so there wasn't a moment of disappointment.
No, I'm just saying based on his history of work, he usually has stuff like that. Were you thinking it was going to be something like that? And because, like I said earlier, this was a completely different portrayal than Tim Burton's used to doing.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's exciting. Like, oh, you're going to do something. Tim's trying something new, and you get to be a part of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just tend to look at things in a bit more positive light.
The movie is Big Eyes that we're talking about. It comes out on December 25th. Jason Schwartzman's also in the movie.
Jason's in it,
and
who I just worked with on Listen Up Philip as well.
It was a brilliant performance by Jason Schwartzman, just being very calm, very subtle, and then just really stabbing comments without being over the top.
Yeah.
As far as what he was saying to Walter.
Yeah, Jason's one of my favorite human beings in this whole industry. He's like my favorite actor I've spent time with.
Have you seen him in the show that
Bored to Death?
No, the one for Amazon, Mozart in the Jungle?
Is he in that?
Yeah, he plays a podcaster that interviews Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, when did you see the pilot?
I saw the first 4 episodes.
Oh, well, you're at press, so you get to see it. It's not out yet.
Because I talked with Saffron Burrows and for the interview for the launch for that, and he's in one of the episodes there. He plays what's misinterpreted as a big-time news interviewer, and he's really a podcaster.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I think I've been doing press with him all week, so I know that his show comes out December 23rd. But I'm excited to see it. I know he's very proud of it and writing and producing Amazon. Amazon has, Transparent right now, which is one of my favorite shows.
Another amazing show.
Amazing
a lot of these cool things are coming to these online streaming services.
Yeah.
And you got one coming up soon, next year, for Netflix with AKA Jessica Jones. This was great to hear, but it was also a little confusing because I know a lot about the comic book world, but Jessica Jones kind of blindsided me. I was like, I really don't know what the character is about.
Well, that's I guess what's so exciting.
It
right?
is, because I was like, all right, they're not rehashing another popular character again. They're digging deep and finding new and interesting properties to explore.
She's a very interesting, complex character, and I'm excited that I get to originate her.
Without giving anything away, obviously.
I don't want to spoil it.
Did you start production yet, or is it starting?
Soon.
Soon, okay. So there's also not a release date that has been mentioned yet, but it's sometime in 2015 for AKA Jessica Jones, which is a Marvel property. Woo! Is there anything you could at least tell me about the character, like for people who don't know? I can't imagine. Were you two up on Jessica Jones when you got the part? Like, did you have to go do research?
I did research. Yeah. I first read like a couple of scenes. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Right.
I want to do this.
Tell me at least who she is. Is she a detective? Is she a superhero?
So I believe, I just don't know what I'm allowed to say. And I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm not 100% clear on like what is officially out there already. And I just don't want to piss anybody off.
Okay.
You could what?
You could read the comics,
I guess.
read
the comic.
All right.
Read Jessica Jones, or just wait for the show and wait to see me do it. I don't know.
Can you talk about the casting for the show at least? Who else is cast with you?
That's even more top secret.
Wow.
Yeah.
The mystery just keeps getting bigger.
But
and
it's
bigger.
announced that I'm doing it. So
well, that's all we know. I mean,
that's all we know.
I knew you were coming in, and then that happened about a week ago. The announcement. I was like, oh, this is great. We can tie into both.
I could say that I'm very excited. That for me, it's it's like a dream role, and she's fucking rad.
Maybe we can go this direction then. Did you grow up reading comic books or know anything about superheroes? Or is that part of your childhood at all?
It was not a part of my childhood, and I wish that I had somebody in my life that would have exposed me to things like that, because I'm having such a blast researching.
You didn't have that background or that part of your life. Is it still now amazing to you that you get to be part of the comic book world?
Yes, being a part of the Marvel universe is, it's mind-blowing, as pedestrian as that sounds. It's such a giant thing, and it has such a huge following and a giant fan base. And it's just how everything's intricately like woven, and it just, a whole world exists. And, their movie's pretty great.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Well.
And you're in the Disney family now too, which is really cool. And from your time with Breaking Bad, I'm sure you've experienced this, or at least seen it. I don't know if you've ever gone to any kind of convention, Comic-Con or something like that, where people still dress up as Jane. You're going to have next year, if this comes out before San Diego or before New York Comic-Con, you're going to start seeing people dress up as your Jessica Jones character.
I mean, it's pretty nuts. I feel like with Jane on Breaking Bad, and even Chloe from Don't Trust the Bee, like people like dress up with these characters for Halloween and things like that, and come up to me all the time. So to like have to be playing another character that I'm just so proud of and excited about. And feels. Do
you take that as a compliment, or you take it kind of weird when people will dress up and emulate the characters that you play?
A high compliment that a character that I've been lucky enough to play has resonated with somebody else. I mean, it's so cool.
Well, now you're gonna have two, because Jane was huge. Speaking of Jane, they came out with a whole line of these Breaking Bad toys that got removed from Toys R Us.
I don't really know anything about that.
The toy line came out. It was pretty cool, but they removed him from Toys R Us because of the implications that he's selling meth and what have you, which is ridiculous, because then you see Freddy and Jason, all these horror creatures there on the same shelves at Toys R Us, but they leave them who are killing people, but they pull Pinkman.
Freddy and Jason have toys at Toys R Us and Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, by NECA Toys. There are these nice sculptures and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're in that same row where the Breaking Bad figures used to be, but Toys R Us pulled them.
I wonder why.
Because too much fake outrage over the fact that they were meth dealers.
But what about Freddy and Jason? They murder people.
That's exactly what I was saying, but nobody cared. They were just upset because Walter White and Jesse Pinkman were meth dealers.
Oh, what a bummer.
Right. So they pull the toys. And what I'm getting at with this is that everybody got a toy on this show. Even Gus, with his face half off, has a figure that Funko made. Like you see half his face and the other half is gone.
Oh, that was such a great scene.
But they didn't make any Jane toys. No Apology Girl stuff.
Oh, I don't even know anything about it.
I was going to ask you if that upset you that everyone else got a toy but you.
I didn't even know what was happening until you just told me.
Well, you
so
need to find out
I
now.
I didn't have time to get upset about it.
You need to have the next exclusive at Comic-Con or something where it's the, the Jane/Apology Girl toy. And then you can sign and it'll be worth lots of money on eBay.
Done.
And then also, if you can work it in, you need to get a Jessica Jones figure, too.
Done.
Because that's going to be a really cool avenue. If you can.
Excited.
Last question before you go. I was looking through your Twitter at Krysten Ritter and your Instagram, The Real Krysten Ritter, because I'm sure somebody else got Krysten Ritter on Instagram.
That's not. Unfortunately, I signed up as Krysten Ritter. And then I decided to close my account because they were doing this thing a while ago. It was years ago now. They're like, oh, Instagram's going to own all your pictures. And my publicist told me to quit. So I did.
Yeah.
And then that went away.
It turned out to be false.
And then I signed back up and they wouldn't give me my name back.
Well, you're a celebrity. Somebody should get you verified and all that
Dear
stuff.
Instagram.
But anyway,
can I have my name back, please?
Your Twitter account. I noticed something on there. Did you do, or somebody drew some artwork of you in comic book style with the caption, "Tall slut, no panties"?
That's from Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23.
Okay. So that was a great piece of artwork too.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I was like, wow, because I didn't recognize
There's
it
a
from
lot
the
of
show.
it too. That was it was a big story.
But it seems to be a big
show.
collector's item.
Yeah. I have a giant poster in my office. It's really cool. It's called Shitagi Nashi, which is like fiction, but it's a huge Japanese comic book. Very big in Japan.
Well, if I find one of these next time, I'm going to bring it in and see if you can sign it. I'll frame it on the wall.
They're pretty cool.
Thank you so much for your time. Krysten Ritter on Twitter, The Real Krysten Ritter on Instagram, and the movie, of course, is Big Eyes, which opens on December 25th of this year. And look for next year when she's on Netflix with AKA Jessica Jones.
Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, it was nice to see you again.
Erik Nagel. You know, E-Rock? Well, he'll be right back.
Miss a moment of the show?
That was amazing radio.
Of yours. You'll still be responsible for the material. Never miss any of Opie and Jim's show.
Oh, awesome.
But do it on your own time. Hear what you miss with SiriusXM On Demand.
Where the fuck is my favorite fucking show?
Go to SiriusXM.com/on demand. Look up SiriusXM Talk and find the show. Opie, Jim Norton, on demand, whenever you want.
In 2014, we witnessed
the San Antonio Spurs have won the NBA championship.
Total domination.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
And heroic performances.
The Giants have won the World Series. Madison Bumgarner with a phenomenal performance.
Mad Dog Sports Radio relives the excitement, the drama, and the glory of 2014 as we deliver the top 10 sports moments of the year. Go to SiriusXM.com/Mad Dog Sports Radio for a complete replay schedule.
Jab. Okay, so you didn't get around to sending out that special holiday card to all your friends and loved ones. Don't worry, with JibJab.com, there's still time to send out a New Year's card that will bring a smile to everyone on your list. Happy New Year! JibJab has hundreds of original animated cards for every occasion where you, your family, and your friends are the stars. JibJab has everything from traditional to hilarious to the outrageous. You and your family are singing and dancing in the funniest animated cards for all to see. Star in your own video of Pharrell Williams' mega hit song, Happy. Throw back to Kool and the Gang's funk classic, Celebration. Drop the ball for 2015 in a good way with JibJab's hilarious New Year's e-cards. You've got to go to JibJab.com to see these cards and hundreds more. Just create your card, click send, and voila! You've shared your card with everyone on your list. You can create your own e-card at JibJab.com. Plus, get a special offer by entering promo code SIRIUS at sign-up. That's JibJab.com.
Jib.
Do you have an old vehicle you no longer need? Please help save a life by donating your car, truck, or motorcycle to Cars for Kids, the original Cars for Kids with a C. They're an IRS-approved 501c3 charter school that helps dropouts earn their high school diploma. Your donation is tax-deductible and towing is free. Please call today, 866-835-5437, or donate online at carsforkids.org. Remember, write off the car, not the kid.
Cars for Kids has been providing at-risk youth with the skills and education to earn their high school diploma for over 28 years. Join their cause by donating your vehicle. In any condition, it doesn't have to run. Your donation is tax deductible and towing is free. Plus, 100% of the net proceeds give students a second chance in life. Donate today and receive a $100 Visa gift card as their way of saying thank you. Please call 866-835-5437 or donate online at carsforkids.org. 866-835-5437. Remember, write off the car, not the kid.
Now, a credit repair tip from creditrepair.com.
Credit tip number 1. Late payments are among the top causes of a lower credit score. But did you know that even after you pay them off, late payments remain on your credit report as a negative item that continues to hurt your score? Your credit score improves when those late payments are actually removed from your report. But it can be extremely difficult. That's why you need the credit experts at creditrepair.com. They work with both your creditors and the credit bureaus to remove questionable negative items from your report and improve your credit score.
If you're suffering from a low credit score, call creditrepair.com at 800-292-7148. And in just a few minutes, you'll know exactly what's hurting your credit score and how to improve it. For over 15 years, we've been helping thousands. So call creditrepair.com at 800-292-7148. 800-292-7148. 800-292-7148.
The economy is improving. Business is growing. But that doesn't mean you should overpay for payroll. When you sign up by January 31st, SurePayroll will give you 2 months of payroll free. This includes payroll taxes paid and filed automatically, online and mobile payroll you can finish in minutes, direct deposit, and award-winning customer service, all at a price small business owners can afford. Call 844-SUREPAY or visit SurePayroll.com today. That's SUREPayroll.com.
Let's do it up. Beat.
It's Eric Nagel.
Back here on It's Eric Nagel. That is me, Matt OG, and Gittles is also here. We're going to move on to our next guest, Saffron Burrows.
Indeed.
A very pretty young lady. She has a show called Mozart in the Jungle, which started on December 23rd on Amazon Prime. If she's not enough to entice you to watch the show, she co-stars with Malcolm McDowell.
She does indeed.
How do you not watch anything he is in? He's great in everything.
He's amazing.
Right. And he plays a retiring maestro that's got pushed aside for a younger, hotter Latin maestro.
Aww.
And hilarity ensues in some angles. And some dramatic angles as well. It's a great show. It's on Amazon Prime. You definitely should check it out. Saffron was also the female lead in Deep Blue Sea.
That's right.
A.K.A. a shark movie.
A.K.A. a shark movie.
It's a great shark movie. It's up there on the list of shark movies.
What's that other ridiculous shark movie where they became super sharks and they were eating through?
LL Cool J.
It is?
Was it LL Cool J?
I said that last week, that LL Cool J was in this movie. Yep. I'm like, I remember this for some reason.
Michael Rappaport was in it too?
Yeah,
Wow.
Thomas Jane. Look
Sam
at that
Jackson?
cast. That's a cast and a half.
Wow.
That is a cast in the half.
Was that the shark movie where they were all, like, the sharks were super sharks and they were busting through, like, metal and everything?
They were
They
like
searching for a cure for Alzheimer's, and they were using sharks as test subjects.
Makes
okay.
perfect sense.
Yeah, of course.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Who are you to say it won't?
I don't remember.
I'm a scientist.
You Jaws purist. But anyway, I spoke to Saffron Burrows about Mozart in the Jungle. Available now. You can binge watch that on Amazon Prime. Here she is. I'd like to welcome to the show Saffron Burrows. That is such an awesome name. It sounds like a pen name. Like this is what you're writing your book under.
Thank you.
What kind of name is Saffron? Is it a family name, or is it just you had like really eclectic parents? Or
Yeah, my mum said, well, embarrassingly, I think she was reading Vogue, and there was a story about a family, a dynasty of people in this story who were all artistic in some way. And she was pregnant with me, and she read the name and thought it was lovely.
I love the way you just said dynasty. You're from London, right?
Yes, I am.
You did something about, well, let me tell everybody why you're here first. You're promoting Mozart in the Jungle, which is on Amazon.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I saw the first 4 episodes, and we'll get into that in just a second. You were on stage at the Old Vic Theatre in London about 10 years ago for a 24-hour play called Night Sky.
Yes.
Right? You did it with Christopher Eccleston. So I have to ask you, are you a Doctor Who fan?
You've done some research. That's
because
impressive.
you were there right at the very beginning of when they brought the show back.
Yeah.
So you got it right as it was starting, not at the peak that it's at right now.
I was early on. I was in the grassroots of Doctor Who land.
Right.
You're right.
Were you a fan growing up at all?
Oh, I was really into it as a kid. Yeah. I mean, I got to work with the son of one of the original Doctor Who's, and that's already a big deal.
Right.
Sean Pertwee is a wonderful actor, and his dad was John Pertwee, who was, you know.
Did you see his Instagram around Halloween? He dressed up in one of his dad's old outfits.
He did?
He looks exactly like his dad.
All right,
it was
I
creepy.
have to start following him because I saw him in New York last week, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. Wow, I have to see that. Yeah, I was really into it as a kid, and then Eccleston did a brilliant job with it.
But while you were doing that stage performance,
yeah,
was there any talk about it? Was he just like, I'm doing this dumb Doctor Who thing, and then I'm going to go off and do some more theater? And
you know, annoyingly, we didn't get into it because when you do a 24-hour play, there's literally 24 hours to learn something, rehearse it, and put it on for an audience. And then I did another one with lovely Matt Smith. Years later, another 24-hour play. There's a running theme
was this
here.
before he was the Doctor too?
This was mid-Doctor.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's at the zenith of the popularity worldwide.
Yeah. I did another one with Gael Garcia Bernal, who's in our show Mozart, who's a pretty incredible performer.
Let's talk about Mozart for a little bit and get off my fascination with Doctor Who here, because there's more other important things than that. I got to see the first 4 episodes of Mozart in the Jungle there. I think it's perfect for Amazon because the premise of it, I don't know how it'd be perceived by the public if it wasn't on an online thing, or maybe like an HBO or Showtime, because focusing on the New York Symphony and you bouncing back and forth doing, Broadway to doing what you trained for all your life. I think this really works. It's one of those shows. You have Malcolm McDowell, so people will see that he's on this and go, oh, I love Malcolm McDowell. Let's check this out. It's a really quirky and unique show that I didn't know if I would like at first, but by episode 4, I was like, I was mad I ran through all 4 episodes.
Good.
Malcolm McDowell's great in it.
Yeah.
I like the little nod to Clockwork Orange they did in the first episode.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the first time that you worked with Malcolm.
No, he and I did a film together in Britain.
Gangster Number 1.
About 15, 16 years ago, Gangster Number 1, which was a really powerful, rather violent film set in the early 70s in London. I'm proud of that film because it was really well made and Malcolm's kind of scary in it. Paul Bettany is one of his first films too, and Malcolm was remarkable in it. So we kind of became pals then, and it's rather good for our show now because our characters we have this very big relationship and there's a love between us and we've known each other a long time. So that really helps the story.
So you come into this project here, you're friends, you're good, and, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The other people who were cast, were they looking like, oh my God, that's Malcolm McDowell?
Probably they were. Yeah. I mean, we have several icons. We have Bernadette Peters, who's pretty incredible. Gael Garcia Bernal, everyone is in love with, from every country around the world, of every gender. I mean, he's not only an extraordinary performer, but he's pretty stunning, and he's funny. So he and Malcolm play off each other very well. But yeah, I think we all have a huge respect for Malcolm, and he's the godfather of the show. So it's nice. And he and I get to go on a sort of magical mystery tour. At one point, we fly off to a foreign country together in our story. I won't reveal too much. And we were filming under sort of tricky circumstances. It was very hot and we had a lot to do. And he's got this passion. He's incredible. He's got this joy for acting and he brings it to work every day. He kind of puts you to shame. If you're complaining because you're tired or something, he just bounces onto set and he's brilliant.
Your character is in the New York Symphony Orchestra there, but also has secondary job where you're running to do a Broadway play.
Yes.
Now, the writers on this show, one, are taking you into a world that most people don't get to see. I think since the likes of maybe Fame, to see the arts and things portrayed this way. That's also not a PBS, documentary. But the tongue-in-cheek shots at how legitimate theater and art is viewed compared to Broadway.
Yeah.
The performance that you're working on has Constantine as the lead. And I won't give any more of that, but what Constantine is doing in this show is pretty much what he's doing really on Broadway and other productions. So
It's like Matt LeBlanc playing Matt LeBlanc.
Exactly.
In
So
episodes.
I got to say, it's very ballsy for Constantine to portray himself as he's viewed as himself in roles on Broadway there.
Yeah.
So the writing is just amazing.
The byline of the book is, Mozart in the Jungle, sex, drugs, and classical music. And I think our story is very much its own. We take the book as just a starting off point, but that byline is true to our story in the sense that I think it shows us how the young musicians are, they're attaching a bong to a metronome and taking it in turns to have a puff. And there's a lot of the life of young New York struggling artists and how they live and how they, what they're doing after hours. And I think that stuff rings true to a lot of people. And so it's an interesting way of making it unstuffy and making it not feel inaccessible, I think, because it just shows you how actually everyone in New York is trying to get by, and trying to earn a living and trying to excel. And then when they get somewhere good, they're still struggling because they've got to maintain their art.
Even when you get to where you think you need to be in order to be happy, you realize there's still more to go, or you didn't need that to begin with to be happy.
Yeah. Or you have to just work incredibly hard to. Cynthia's role in the symphony is very highly regarded, but it requires real diligence, so you've got to stay at a level of peak excellence, and that takes its toll.
I also like the guy whose only concern is not how good your performance is or the practice, is that because he's 2 years, he's union, you get a bathroom break for 10 minutes every hour and a half or
Union
something
Bob.
like that. Yeah, and that's all he does is interrupt the whole flow of the story just to let you know we gotta go we have a bathroom
We
break.
need a pee break. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, Mark Bloom plays him and he's brilliant.
I want to move on to Jason Schwartzman, who is one of the executive producers for the show, but is in one of the episodes that I happened to watch.
Playing the journalist?
Yeah, playing the journalist.
Yeah.
But I love this scene where he doesn't even react yet, but you can just see the way his eyes change and sort of the muscles in his cheeks when Malcolm is getting ready for this interview piece, and Jason Schwartzman shows up, and he realizes it's not going to be all that he thought it was going to be. And just with he didn't even move, just the look that he gave, you saw this whole wonder, and he was going to show off and be as pompous as he possibly could.
He put on eyeliner.
Put on the eyeliner, and then I realized he was doing a podcast. And then tried to get his way out of a podcast, and then something else happens that changed all that.
And he's like, "Where are the lights? Where are the groomers?"
How hands-on is besides that little scene there? How hands-on is Jason Schwartzman with this? Because he's really come a long way from acting, also doing music, to now more behind-the-scenes stuff.
He's incredibly hands-on. He was there every day. He moved here for the duration of shooting and was with us every day, which was lovely because he's one of the writers and producing on it. So we could reference him a lot and ask, he very much encourages improvisation and being free with the lines. So to have him there was terrific. It was invaluable, really.
The show is Mozart in the Jungle. If you're just tuning in and haven't heard, it's on Amazon, available December
23rd.
December 23rd.
All episodes.
So this is great for Christmas vacation. If you're done with other shows that have just come out on other services, this one is right in time for Christmas. So after the
holidays. It moves along at a fast pace as well.
When the 26th comes around and you don't want to do returns, you just, like most people, you're staying at home that day because you don't want to go out. Go to Amazon and check out Mozart in the Jungle there and just binge watch.
Amazon Prime.
Do you still get recognized? Because I was talking to somebody that I was interviewing you the other day, and they said, "Oh, she's the girl from Deep Blue Sea."
Right.
Is that where you still get recognized from?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. A lot of New Yorkers really like Deep Blue Sea. I like it. I'm proud of that film. The other one is Circle of Friends.
Right.
The first I did, and people, I'm close friends with Alan Cumming, who's also in Circle of Friends, and people go, "Oh my God, the two of you, Nan Man." They name our characters and everything. That's kind of fun.
Well, look, you nailed it with as far as New York goes. Because not even that, even other people I talked to on Facebook, they said, "Oh, she was in Deep Blue Sea."
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
Outside of Deep Blue Sea.
I never forget our first screening here. Samuel Jackson and I were at a test screening in Times Square where they didn't know actors were present and it was just a normal audience.
Right.
And I pop up on screen and start messing around with shark's brains. And towards the end of the movie, they were shouting, die, B-I-T-C-H, at the screen. I was like, what is going on?
That means they love you.
And I'm not going to show up at a test screening again. That's what Samuel Jackson said to me. That means they love you. You did
Because
your
if
job.
they react to it, that means they love it. If they just sit there and do nothing, then they really hate you, and this thing's going to bomb.
They reacted strongly.
But Deep Blue Sea was one of those movies where it did okay in the box office, but it was one of those movies that became a cult hit because it was on cable so much. I think that was also one of the movies that led to the big fascination as far as what sci-fi does. With Sharknado and Shark Octopus and Dino Mego Crocodile and all that other nonsense.
Every time it's National Shark Week, I get interviewed because of Deep Blue Sea.
Get out, really? Discovery Channel comes talk to you?
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Do they give you any of those cool tchotchkes they make every year? Because last year they made Vans shark shoes.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like those.
They sent it to us, and everyone else was just like, well, I'm not going to wear these. I'm like, I want all of these pairs.
I didn't get those.
Yeah, they sent every year for Shark Week they send out a big box. See, this is what you got to do.
I've got to be here National Shark Week.
It doesn't matter, even if you're doing a phone or a Skype or whatever.
Right.
You tell your agent or your manager. She will do it under one condition, that she gets all that free stuff that you just made for Shark Week, because it really is awesome.
Sounds really cool.
If you want to see, I'm sure a lot of it's up on eBay. You can see what you've missed in the past.
I'll do that.
Should
I not just swing by the office and pick up some?
If you have that kind of power, walk in there and just start pounding your fist and say, "I want free shark stuff."
I was thinking of swinging by Sirius's office.
Oh, we have nothing here.
Oh, okay.
They're cheap as hell. I'm sorry to disappoint your whole illusion that satellite radio is this big fancy thing.
You've got a nice view.
You also did the narration for Peter Pan back in 2003, right? What do you think of the live action Peter Pan they're doing for NBC?
Oh,
do you know about this?
No,
it's I think it's tonight. Well, at the time that we're recording this, it's on tonight on NBC. It's live.
Are they filming it here?
Is it New York this year?
Is it probably like down the street, right?
It's in Brooklyn. Okay.
I'd like to
Last
see
year
that.
they did Sound of Music.
I love the Sound of Music. I saw that
It's
one.
completely live, and they're really encouraging social media to be a part of this and everything. And you get the idiots online who just want to watch it because they want to hate on it.
Someone's going to fall over.
Everybody's watching for that, whether you're for the show or not. You want to see like the set fall down or a light goes haywire or whatever. But the big thing this year is Allison Williams from Girls on HBO. If you're familiar with that, is playing Peter Pan. And what's his name? Thank you. I was just saying, there's a million impressions of the guy. Christopher Walken is Captain Hook.
Good casting.
I almost said Dr. Hook. That's a band.
You see, I've been in a cello classical music bubble. I didn't even know about it. But I'm going to watch it.
Well, you're done filming, right? At least for Amazon, right?
We finished 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the holidays coming up.
Yeah.
You can find it on, I'm sure they'll have it on the website or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I liked the Sound of Music.
You did?
Yeah.
Doing Peter Pan, was this just an opportunity that you had? Or is this something that like, this was the story of my childhood?
Dream. Well, my very good friend was playing Captain Hook, Jason Isaacs, and he called me up and said, come to Australia and have some fun. And I said, all right. And he said, why don't you play adult Wendy and come and just have fun with us on this film? So I played adult Wendy, and then I think those scenes didn't make it for whatever reason, but I narrated, and it was really fun to do. It's such beautiful writing, and all the proceeds go to this really impressive hospital in London that serves children.
Children's Hospital.
Great Ormond Street Hospital.
It's on the line with St. Jude's Children's Hospital here.
Yeah,
as far as on par with what they do.
Exactly. And J.M. Barrie, when he wrote the book, said, okay, I'd like this to be what happens with my estate. So that's what happened. So it's a beautiful classical piece of writing. I loved it.
The show is Mozart. I'm getting told we're running out of time here. Mozart in the Jungle will be available on Amazon Prime on December 23rd at Saffron Burrows with an underscore at the end on Twitter. Did somebody else have Saffron Burrows?
Someone got my name. Someone took it. So we
look. You're kind of a big deal now. Have your representation say, look, we're taking this. You're squatting on a name that this is obviously not your name.
We need to.
It's not like Kevin Smith. Where he had a problem because there was another guy that's really named Kevin Smith.
I know. There's a lot of them.
Right. You're not finding a lot of Saffron Burrows.
But the underscore's okay. We can go with that.
For now.
For now.
But get the real name. Last before you go, you were on Boston Legal.
Yes.
I loved that show. How fun was that to work with James Spader and William Shatner?
Oh my goodness. William Shatner's dressing room was next door to mine, and he likes to come into work really early and do a bunch of radio interviews before he starts filming.
Right.
And
was he singing?
He works out, he sings, he plays jazz all day, It's fantastic.
Because he was singing a lot, especially during the Christmas episodes.
Yes.
They always had him singing something and then the party going completely wrong.
He sings constantly.
Right.
Yeah, in the dressing room he's singing. James became a good friend. He's fantastic. And they called me, the elevator lady, because James and I kept making out in elevators.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
I know. But it was
such a great
Candace
show.
Bergen put a cast.
Right. Amazing show. Saffron, it was great getting a chance to talk to you. I hope I get a chance to talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Salut, c'est Saffron Burrows. Je présente l'émission de Erik Nagel sur Sirius. Bienvenue.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that's it for this week's edition of It's Erik Nagel. We will be back live in the year 2015 of our Lord, January 9th, 8 p.m., our new day and time slot.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to the future. There's going to be like flying cars and robots evereverywhere.
That is so awesome.
We're alive.
That's in like, what, a month? This is going to be great.
I want to teleport.
Yeah, well, you can do it.
Give me a portal gun.
Well, it's probably going to come in your loot crate.
I'm putting it on my Amazon wish list.
Yeah, it's gonna show up.
Gittles Base on the Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, hit me up.
Geek Stuff OG on the Twitter and Instagram for Matt, and I am E-Rock Radio on the Twitter and Instagram. Remember, Friday, January 9th, 8 p.m., we will be live. We have replays.
We do.
Also, a couple,
hip,
which is awesome. Saturday at 8 p.m., our current time slot will be a replay slot for this show.
Sweet.
And also, the unofficial, official Monday Night Raw after show is reruns of this show, 11 p.m. Eastern. So when you're done with Monday Night Raw or football, tune over to Sirius 206 XM 103 and you can catch this show as well. Until next year, be seeing you.
And that's all the time we have. Follow the guys on Twitter and Instagram at eRock Radio and at Geek Stuff OG. eRock Radio and at Geek Stuff OG. The show should be back next week, right here on OP Radio.